awesome. She loves that guitar. So, well, good morning. With Labor Day coming up, everything is going to have to do with work. Work, 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 right? Can you sound like a train? Here, that's it. That's it. You ready? Okay. First time that I picked up a guitar, I dreamed I'd maybe someday be a star. I held concerts in my head from the corner of my bed, but I knew that wouldn't take me very far. Now dreams are often shoved into a drawer, that's it, locked up out of sight behind some door. Oh, the heart that one denies, if it's given no reply, might take us down a dark path evermore. Like we're stuck upon some rails down a long line of track, never seeing round the bend, forever looking back. But if we rise above the rails, share the passion that's inside, our treasures and our truth, maybe just a little time, just to soar into the sky, open blue and white, giving up our gifts. There's no effort in the climb when we rise above the rain. Now what about the dream of MLK? He showed the people they just might have a say. Or if Mandela in his cell had been broken by that hell, oh, where would justice find a home today? We'd be stuck upon some rails down a long line of track, never seeing round the bend, forever looking back. But if we rise above the rails, share the passion that's inside, our treasures and our truth, maybe just a little time, just to soar into the sky, open blue and white, giving up our gifts. There's no effort in the climb when we rise above the rain. Now what you learn in school today wasn't sharing. It starts with just a random act of caring. To rise above the rain, share the passion that's inside, our treasures and our truth, maybe just a little time, to soar into the sky, open blue and white, giving up our gifts. There's no effort in the climb when we rise above the rain. When we rise above the rain. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together, try to love one here's a way we by. You can make the mountains ring or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody together. Try to love one another right now. Oh, we can sing. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Try to love one another right now. Try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. You hold the key to love and fear, all in your trembling hand. Just one key unlocks them both. It's there at your command. Come on, people now, smile on your brother, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Try to love one another right now. Try to love one another right now. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. See you in a minute. Hi, Chris.
Oh, I guess I get to talk in Mr. Mike. Good morning, everybody. I love seeing your shiny hearts. So, I want to say, in Unity Skagit Valley, we welcome you and greet you in the warm and loving spirit of unity, and in the recognition that all of our unity with all people and communities of faith everywhere in the world. Just think of how many people on a Sunday or a Saturday are getting together. It's just fabulous. And we bless and embrace people of every race, culture, lifestyle, and creed. We honor and celebrate the many paths to God, the many names for God, and the many ways in which to experience God. Just take a breath. That's one big breath. You're experiencing God. That's the invitation. And we affirm there is only one power, one presence active in my life, active in our life, and active in the universe. God the good, omnipotent. And I also get to be Ms. Daily Word. So today's daily word, which is interesting since this is Labor Day weekend, is ease. Beholding God in every circumstances lets me know ease. Beholding God in every circumstance helps me know ease. It's easy for me to find God in the glory of a sunrise and in the laughter of children. We had a representative of God right here running through. So delightful. And we can feel God's love as we get together with friends, family, and I will add spiritual community. Wherever there is wonder, joy, or fellowship, we can feel that God is surely present. But I get to remember that God is just as surely present when my responsibilities feel overwhelming, when conflict arises in a relationship, when it feels like there just isn't enough for what I need. If I begin to feel tense, fearful, or frustrated, I remember that wisdom, love, understanding, and strength, all of these divine qualities that live within me, are ready to help me handle any challenge. Assured by my awareness of God's presence, assured by our awareness of God's presence, we move with ease and grace through whatever this day brings. And from Proverbs 1:33, those who listen to me will be secure and will live at ease without dread of disaster. Whew. Ease. Okay, so now we get to express appreciation and gratitude. Woohoo! Louise, are you the flower girl?
My daughter brought me those to make my
Oh.
so yes, I'm sharing.
So thank you, and thank you, Catherine. Those are magnificent. And you're so generous in your sharing. Okay, we get to thank our music and speaker, Steve Mason. Yay! And Heather's giving those fabulous hugs. Hi, Heather. And our sound, lighting, and live streaming crew, we have Ellen and Ethan. You guys are fabulous. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's so nice to be able to have somebody turn on Mr. Mike for me, or turn it off when when it's time for me to be done. So, and our prayer ministry. So, in Unity was founded on prayer. Myrtle Fillmore, one of the co-founders of Unity, was healed through prayer. And with that, enticed her husband, and it evolved into the Unity movement. But it started with prayer. Myrtle Fillmore had been sick with what was called TB at that time for 40 years and had been given a few months to live. But she got it. She heard from E.B. Weeks saying, "I am a child of God. Therefore, I do not inherit disease." And she said, "I knew I was healed immediately, but it took my body 2 years to catch up." But every day she spent in prayer. And she probably had the time to do it because she didn't cook. There's great stories about her. Anyway. So our prayer ministers are active and want to support you in prayer. So we have the lovely prayer box over there. That's their 24/7. We will have an additional prayer box, but we'll get to that on the next page until Thursday. So our prayer ministers take the prayers, they pray over them, and then they send them to Silent Unity. And with that, Silent Unity holds them for 30 days and prays over them. So once you put that request in, and God knows how to take care of it, you just let the Spirit of God work through it and look for the results. So sometimes we write something down and don't believe it, but look for the results. Look for the little things. Oh, my hip isn't quite so stiff. Oh, I haven't fallen down this week. Oh, my bank book actually has money in it. Woohoo! So there's power in that, and there's power within our prayer ministry. And they are faithful. And for the people who aren't in here in person, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to be, send your prayers to info@unitysv.org, and they will get routed through our prayer ministries, and they'll be submitted to the box and prayed over. And so there's many ways to put in a prayer. Eventually we'll have a phone, but I'm not quite sure when. Okay, announcements. There's two big ones, and no, it's not all about me, but it's all about me. The first one is World Day of Prayer. So this Thursday, from 6:30 to 7:15, we will have a prayer circle within the sanctuary in alignment with the Unity Greater World Day of Prayer. So in your bulletin, you should have received a prayer slip. If you got it early, the prayer slips are over there, and they just have lines to put names on. We don't need to put anything but the names, because whatever needs to happen will happen. And as I said, this Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call the creator of the universe, knows what needs to be done. We just put the name down and release it. And Thursday, we will be joining together and praying on those slips, holding them. It's kind of like a mini World Day of Prayer at Unity Village. So, and then we will send them off. So please, put it on your calendar. Come be prayer ministers. It's easy. You don't have to even pray out loud. You can just hold it in your consciousness. And what I know is, as I pray with someone else, whatever I'm dealing with seems to dissolve. So this is the open.
6:30 in the morning?
No, it's 6:30 p.m. You could be here at 6:30 in the morning, but the door might not be open.
Daily words are here
Oh, okay.
for September, October.
September, October, you can own your own daily word. This is large type, but the regular type is over there, and it's only a $3 investment, seeing how it's $6.95 as what it says on the actual daily word. If you went to another Unity, you would pay $6.95. So you get a bargain, half price and no sales tax. And on September 18th, this is a chance for you all to come join us in many ways. We're going to have a book and bake sale. The flyers are up there. Tell your friends. It's going to be just for a short time, but we'll have baked goodies, and we'll have books and puzzles and cards. We have a lot of them back there already, so it'll be fun. What we would like is everybody, listen to your little inner prompt. We would like help the day before sorting books and things, so the day of we will need help setting up and selling or taking money, and we'll need assistance in the bake sale part of it. We'll also really like some bakers to come bring goodies, so that's an opportunity for everybody to get together, and it's very short investment of time. But what I know is when I volunteer with a group, I get so much more out of it. So just come in, show up, we'll be here. You can come play with us. We'll giggle, have chocolate, and then all the funds raised will go to our budding youth ed program, because we won't see that thriving, and this will be seed money. So I think, let's see. Okay, so then it says, Steve Music, Steve Meditation, Steve Music, Steve Message. It's all about Steve, and I'll see you in a minute.
I may not tell my wife that it's all about Steve. Although in college I was a frat rat, so we were all sitting around the fraternity, and there was a Seahawks game. and there was Steve Largent, and Steve Rabel, and Steve Meyer, and one of the coaches was Steve. I was Steve. There was another Steve in the room. So we changed the name to the Seattle Steve Hawks.
Good story.
So maybe that's as much about me as this will be. So, thanks, Chris. So welcome. So here we are. It's tomorrow is Labor Day, and my daughter is grieving because summer is pretty much to an end on Wednesday this coming week for her. School starting, and actually seeing some leaves change just yesterday we were out at the beach and noticing that. So a lot of changes, and so let's see. In thinking about coming and sharing with you all today, I didn't say all y'all because I've been out at the Carolinas for a few years now. So 3 people informed what I wanted to share. And one of them, guess what, was Linda. So Reverend Linda and I had a chance to chat, and she says, well, this is very prophetic. She says, what do you want to call your talk? And so I'm like, well, let's talk about work. Work, right? But I wanted to go work, ... That's an ellipses, right? Where you do ... Work, ellipses, work, question mark. So that's more like what the talk is today, and songs and some meditation and things. So Reverend Linda, she asked that question. I was informed by Joni Mitchell. She never calls me, but I was informed by her that she says that a good song is one where the person, they throw out all these complaints and concerns and all this catharsis stuff, but what makes it a good song is when they do the work and they immerse themselves enough to get to some clarity. Without doing that work and that immersion and that clarity, it's not a good song, according to Joni. So we'll see if we can come out with a good song today. And then my daughter. My daughter is Sophie, she's 10, and she was asking me, I think the last time I came up here to play music a few weeks back, this has a guitar case that you can throw over your shoulder, so I throw it over my shoulder, and she says, where are you going, Daddy? And I just assumed she knew where I was going on a Sunday. And so my wife says, Daddy's going to work. She said, work? You're going to go play and have fun and do something you love. That's not work. And then the question is, or is it, right? So we'll talk about what work is, what it isn't, I guess, and what everybody, whatever feelings you have bubble up, that's perfect. So, yeah, so there's a lot of definitions of work. There's a physical 9-to-5, bricklayers, assembly line workers, they've done all these things, drafting, things like that. There's that. But there's certainly a lot of action inside us when it comes to all work. So I think I'm going to focus on inner work mostly. Yeah, this is all, I know what the end of this looks like. It says inner work right at the end, so that's what we're going to focus on. I better, or we'll get lost. So one of the things that I love is, as we think about the journey that we're on in life, is traveling down the road and taking a rest at music mileposts is what I call them. It's really kind of a metaphor for pulling off the side of the road instead of just zooming by and passing glance at things and so on. But a music milepost is most often where I play something or do something musically that kind of has us be there in that moment. And so we'll start with literally the work of getting present, being in this moment. And the first time I played at a church, I think, other than doing John 3:16 after getting a retainer at the age of 8, for God so loved the world, it was a lot of that. So. But I think 20 years ago or so was when I started playing music at a church in Redmond, Washington. And after a couple of years, and I watched this minister who became a good friend of mine, Eric. And Eric did just this amazing job of getting people present and putting distractions aside so we could be in the moment. And I loved that. And so, I don't know if anybody knows Tony Roebuck. He was the minister at Woodinville. I think Woodinville Unity Center for Peace, I think is what the name of their church was. And Tony asked me to come play and said, I want to hear some of your own stuff, but I also want to know, will you bring a song that gets us centered in the moment, distractions gone, whatever. And I said, you know, I don't have something right now, but when you see me, I will. And I was taking a songwriting class at the time from a gal, Sue Ennis. She co-wrote Dog and Butterfly and Even It Up and a bunch of songs by the band Heart in the 70s and 80s. I was taking a class from her at the time, and she had challenged us all with writing a song that was a call to action that week, a protest song, right? And I was struggling with it. So when Tony said, how about do something that's getting present, I thought, how about a call to inaction? So that's what I chose to write, and I'll play that for you here in just a second. So if you would, you get the bonus round today. We're going to do 2 meditations. One's really short, this one, and the other one's not terribly long, but longer. Okay, so if you're comfortable so doing, go ahead and let your eyes rest for a moment and take a few deep breaths. And if you want to do that nice and deep from the belly, relaxed. So go ahead and picture, if you will, a few of the distractions in your life, as clearly as you can, and the way those distractions make you feel right now. Shouldn't take very long, right? So then, if you want to do this literally, or imagine this, cup your hands in front of you like somebody's going to pour some water in there and you're going to take a drink. But instead of water, imagine that all those distractions that would have us multitasking, or the family stuff, the friends, the challenges, concerns. Just imagine that they reduce in size and they all fit in your cupped hands. Then you can walk out after our time together, and you will have set them outside. You set them on the step. You know they'll be there when you come back. Just know that they'll be there, and you can either pick them up when you go back or not. But now that those items are set aside, let's go a little deeper into the moment. And the song that I was referencing is called Here Now. And feel free to either sing along or hum, or just listen to the words to the chorus, or Here Now, which makes it a little bit easier. Let my words be your words and yours be mine. Celebrate our union in this special time. Oh, here now. Here now. Savoring the feeling as we breathe into this space, in this perfect moment, in this perfect place. Here now. Here now. World of grace, celebrate, blessed vow. Here now, let's enjoy the miracle that brought us here somehow, dissolving any obstacles from being present here and now. Oh, here now. it up above. Here now. Here now. Well, it's a world of grace. Let's celebrate. Blessed vow. Hey, hey, now, step into the selflessness our hearts will allow. Taking in the timelessness of just this simple vow. Oh, love shines in your eyes and in the smile upon your face. Walking here in beauty in our day-to-day with grace. Hey. That didn't feel like work, did it? Maybe inner work isn't always like drudgery, which, yeah. So, Rabbi Ted, everybody know Rabbi Ted Falcon? Yeah. So, heard him say a number of times that he's one of those teachers who likes to teach things that he doesn't know much about or that he's still learning about. Which that's tough to imagine because he seems like he knows all, but he would hit me on the side of the head if you heard me say that. So if you're there, sorry. But I like that thought. That's what came to mind about today for me. Was I really never knew what Labor Day represented. It's like it represented the working people. I didn't realize what it came out of. So let's take a look at what it came out of, and I think I may have said, let's look at maybe a new understanding or a reframing of the word work. And I loved it, Chris, the whole daily word of ease. When I peeked ahead to see what it was going to be for today, and what I thought was, thinking about work and labor, and isn't ease the opposite? I don't think so. It seemed like, I don't think it's the opposite, because I've got it right here too. I love the part about, the glory of the sunrise, laughter of children, friends of family. That's where we find God, right? But we also find God in, when the responsibilities are huge or it doesn't seem to be enough of what we need. So that sounds like the old depiction of work. It's like all this stuff we've got to do and so on, but divinity, God, whatever you want to call that, I think that's there at that time too, the being in the zone, in the moment, in the flow, all those things seem to be a great way of defining inner work. So I don't imagine that laborers in 1894, I think that was late 1800s when they finally declared this is Labor Day after all these fights and people getting hurt and so on. I don't think they thought of the word ease probably. During those days, the Industrial Revolution was really, I don't know that it was at its height, but it was certainly a huge thing that they were dealing with, the dangerous work conditions, too many work hours, 10, 12 hours a day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. Kids 8 and younger were working, being forced to work. So I think at some point, all of that work and the hurt, the fear, the anger, all that, it ended up necessitating that people ask questions of themselves, of their coworkers, of their employers, co-employees, about those working conditions and safety, etc. Kind of the early seeds of work-life balance, but boy, that would be way too grandiose for back then, I think. Yeah, I think all that inner work that had to be done, even though maybe it might not have been defined over the dinner table. Hey, we're doing inner work here, as we're fighting to get our rights as laborers. It did cause them to ask important questions. What do we want? What do we hope for? What's important? What keeps us safe? Thinking about their families, etc. So today, I think we get to stand on the shoulders of these people who did all that work. I'd say even deeper than they did, but I think it's just a different kind of depth, because theirs was as deep as you could go. I mean, it was they were dealing with life-threatening things. So now we get to think about, so how do I be in the flow? How do I create peace and love and giving and receiving in my life? And today, especially with all the what would you call it, the polarization in the world, we get to think about, how do I listen to others who I don't agree with? How do I honor their path, knowing it's different from mine? That was the inspiration of this song I'll play for you. I've played it for you before, but I'm pleased to share it with you today. This is called Riddle Me This. Riddle me this. Let's start with a question. May I make a patriotic suggestion? Can our hearts take the lead in this historic time? 'Cause this land is your land and it's mine. Riddle me this. Can we choose to walk in freedom and walk in each other's shoes? Can we be unified today with all that's happening? Pose some questions worth considering, like, who we gonna trust? Could anyone be choosing profits over us? Am I wrong, or has this thing gotten serious? And is it safe just to ask a question? Riddle me this. Riddle me this. Here's the thing, how it hurts to see so many people suffering. And if we comply, don't we have everything to lose? Oh, you know, I think we do. Oh, say, can you see faded flag of American dreams? Will our founders' words be washed away? What would those who fought for freedom have to say? If those who gave their lives were here today, riddle me this. What about our kids? Will future generations know what freedom is? Just let our hearts take the lead. Oh, it's not that much to bear. 'Cause this land is our land and it should be theirs. Will this land someday be theirs? Riddle me this. Riddle me this. This land is your land and it's my land. Down to the Gulf Stream waters. Riddle me this. Can we pose some questions? thanks. Thanks very much. You know, I talked to Reverend Linda about playing that song the first time I played it, and I heard you mention Nina's name a little bit earlier, and I asked Nina about it too, and a few people that I know live in this world and in you know, as reverends, and they both said, oh no, that's you. There's no problem playing that. It's not just our congregation. It's if somebody's got a problem with it, they're going to have a problem with it, but most people won't. So what was great was we went, this is not on the page, which is perfect. We went to South Dakota this summer, because it's, you know, wanted to go to the tropics. So a friend of mine was going to Italy. He says, I can't meet with you. I'm leaving on Wednesday for Italy. I said, I'm leaving on Wednesday for South Dakota. So anyway, which is what we did. So what was something really sweet happened. So my mother-in-law, she likes my music, which is really, that's a good thing. It'd be bad if my wife's mom didn't like my music. So the last night we had a little fire pit thing, and way up in the hills, and just really great. And so my mother-in-law's like, you know what goes with the fire? And so she grabs my guitar and hands it to me. I'm like, okay. So she said, didn't you just write a song about a flag and all that stuff? I'm like, yeah, I did, because I put it on YouTube, YouTube. And so she said, play that one. And so I did, and I would just say that our political views are almost completely opposite, along with my father-in-law, and they both just really appreciated it. So it was really, really cool. So thanks for asking. So speaking of reverends, Eric Butterworth had a lot to say about work, which is not surprising. He was prolific in the writing world. So I'm going to read you. There's a fair amount here, so elbow the person next to you if they snore. Hopefully that won't happen. So Eric Butterworth says the average person spends about 2,000 hours a year at some kind of work. If you do the math, that's 100,000 hours in a career probably. It would seem that, by the way, he uses he, so my apologies, it was the time, right? It would seem that he should have an attitude that integrates his work involvement with his overall life. One of the root causes of the nation's economic difficulties may well be the loss of healthy, spiritually oriented work attitudes on the part of the nation's workers. It's been said most persons stop looking for work when they find a job. That was great. The emphasis is on getting on a payroll somewhere, but sadly neglected is the matter of the personal need to release the creative flow by rendering service. Man is a creative creature. To become whole, there must be a releasement of that creativity. He may think of his work as the means of making a living, whereas it's the opportunity to make a life. Right? Then he discusses what's needed to go beyond the drudgery. There's that word. Many persons engage in work as a necessary evil, a period of drudgery between coffee breaks. And thus they totally frustrate their creative flow. You may change jobs, but nothing is solved until you change consciousness. The place to begin is right where you are. Perfect. Find yourself in your work by overcoming resistance to it and see it as a challenge for growth, or to live as your highest self, as I love to hear and say. You may long for an interesting job, but there are no jobs that are interesting. Yeah, I know, isn't that great? Interest is invested or invented by someone who's interested. The difference is the worker, not the work. Then he talks about the importance of thought, not a surprise, right? Thought controls your life. Spiritually oriented thought will always lead you to stability in your work and success and prosperity in your life. Whether your need is to find employment, a better job, betterment in your present employment, the great need is to find yourself. There should be a bumper sticker. You can take the irk out of work by blessing it. You can take the irk out of work by blessing it. To bless means to confer honor upon. In other words, change your thoughts about your work and yourself while you work, and your work will begin to bless you. He has just a little bit more on fun thinking. The first step to think for yourself, the first step is to think for yourself. Don't let the world around you decide how you think and feel. Don't listen to what they say, right? Pray for guidance and then move your feet. Good. Also remember that you can't expect to spend a few minutes affirming for guidance and success and then spend the rest of your day thinking how bad things are. Nobody here has ever done that, right? Finally, after he discusses the who and the what of succeeding in work, this was actually called How to Find and Succeed in Your Work. He wraps up with, and when you find a job or are called back after a layoff, or when you return to work after a vacation, or just begin again after a weekend, you may find yourself saying, well, back to work. Change this thought. Never go back to work. Always go forward to work. Back to work is what you must do. Forward to work is what you want or you choose to do. Right? Good stuff. Wow. Let's see. This is interesting, having a clock right there, huh? Okay. Well, like I said, my daughter teed me up with curiosity, and me wondering, can you do both love and, have joy in your play and so on, and have that be work? Can you do those both of those things? You ever hear that saying, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life? Yeah. I had too, and until, like I said, I wanted to learn more about work. Until I had read Eric Butterworth, thought about this a little bit, immersed, like Joni Mitchell wants us to do. I had always thought that meant go look for a good job. Go look for a job that you love, instead of bring your love to the work that you do, right? So, and I'll finish with one more quote, and then we'll do a little meditation. Freud. He said, and this is beautiful, one day, in retrospect, the days of struggle will strike you as beautiful. Wow. Absolutely. I drew bricks for a living at one point. I was a draftsman, and my job was to draw bricks. There's actually custom bricks, but my name's Mason, so it kind of fit, right? But I did Mutual Materials. Look it up. Well, let's take a few minutes and go forward, into a time of meditation. Maybe anchor some of the clarity that is bubbling up here about our work being an inside job, internal, and that we have choice in it, and choice is a muscle that we need to continually build. There's a phrase in Japanese, yoishigoto. I don't know Japanese, I know this phrase, and it means the good work. And I think that's what we're talking about here. So, let's see what we have here. Yeah. Well, if you're comfortable doing so, go ahead and close your eyes again. Let those outer eyes relax and rest. Take some nice, deep, relaxed breaths. Then try this. Let your face relax. And I think Tara Brach, when she leads meditation, she talks about let a little hint of a smile be on your face. Let that smile be for the work that we do to open ourselves to the love and the divinity within each of us. Maybe have that smile be about gratitude for the work we do to silence any internal editors that we have and that might want to say, get back to work. smile of gratitude for the work of granting ourselves patience, mercy, and grace. Even after we've, made a mistake or done something that we're like, oh, I wish I could do that one over, right? And maybe a smile for the work of providing ourselves with self-care. Hydrating, eating healthy food, exercising, resting, meditating, kind self-talk. Nice. Maybe a little smile of gratitude for positive words like, I'm a divine, healthy and bright vibration of love and light. I'm a divine, healthy and bright vibration of love and light. I am whole. I am whole. Let's continue this meditation by taking a moment and, let's acknowledge any mistakes we've made and anytime we've judged ourselves too harshly. And in that very next breath, let's imagine, if you will, a tiny ember in your deepest core that's made up of patience and mercy and grace. And that ember, it grows and it glows and it gets bigger and warmer and it bathes you in a golden light of love. Imagine it glowing and growing until it warms all of you. Every system and structure and tissue and organ, every cell and molecule and atom and all the spaces in between. And remember that golden glow is a part of you. It's your divinity just showing itself to provide acceptance and self-forgiveness. And let that glow continue to grow and surround any individual you might want to think of. Or any group. And let's wrap up this meditation by invoking the words of Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. When you're comfortable, feel free to open those outer eyes and see this world with maybe a sense of even greater gratitude and realization that this whole work thing is an inside job. And I think, let's see, if you think about the people who worked in the late 1800s, asking all those difficult questions and putting themselves in risky situations, I can't imagine them doing this. Maybe we can do this now because I'm saying it. But I can't imagine them thinking about all these people in the 2020s standing on their shoulders and, oh, they're going to go deeper, right? Whatever it is around the work. But here's a song that I wrote that kind of applies to going deeper and us being lifted by them, us lifting ourselves and lifting others. And this is called There's a Circle. There are times we feel downhearted when we'd swear we walk alone. Still we search for any sign that we might find our pathway home. Now there's something oh so lovely, like a star in a crystal night, when I'm reminded deepest darkness can be lit with just one candle's light. There's a circle we're a part of, hand in hand it glows with love. In this circle there's strength in numbers as we rise to lift each other up. Every breath, every step, every heartbeat in my chest, there's a circle we're a part of as we rise to lift each other up. Come the morning, bright and cleansing, it's gonna warm from the outside in. Nothing shines so, oh so brightly as the light that shines from within. There's a circle we're a part of, hand in hand it glows with love. In this circle there's strength in numbers as we rise to lift each other up, as we rise to lift each other up. We rise with love. We rise with love. We rise with Thanks very much. Thanks a lot. So let's see. So we reframed things. We went work, work, work. Linda. So I think Reverend Linda's okay that we fulfilled on that part of it. I don't know if Joni would think we immersed or worked hard enough, but maybe we got some clarity, more clarity than when we walked in the door. So, and I owe my daughter an explanation of that. Yes, love and joy in your work can go together. So let's see. I think all I want to do is say thanks very much for being here, for the work that you do for yourself, for your family, for this community, just Linda and Ellen and the gang have said, "Oh, it's so great that you come all the way up here. I live in Linwood. It's like it's not that far. Even if it was, I honor you all, and I just appreciate the community that you created. So bless you all, and thank you."
Thank you.
It's always interesting coming up those stairs gracefully when you have larger feet. So, this is a time we can show our love. Yeah, and with ease. Okay, show our love with ease. I covered both things, right? So, we're going to do our offering. Who would like to? Oh, yes. Okay. So, we are so grateful for your offerings, your ongoing gifts. We really appreciate all this support because you are supporting not only the building and the people who work there, but you are supporting basically the whole world, because as we learn and grow and rise up, we take everybody with us. You can give us your gifts. You can offer your gifts. You can offer, okay, I'm trying to figure a way I didn't reframe. Okay. You can make your offerings of generosity right here in the sanctuary. We're here right now to collect. We have a little slot in the door. We have an address. We have unitysv.org where there's a nice donate button. So I think that covers most of it. So, but just remember that all your gifts are so appreciated. They're prayed over, and they really represent the universe's generosity to you and I. So we bless every single gift we receive with love, and in the realization that as you give, our ministry continues to, and I love this word, thrive. See us thriving. In the morning, in your meditation time, see us thriving. See everybody that walks in this door lifted up, going out the way into the world a little higher and thriving. Isn't that a juicy word? Thrive. So we're thriving. And what you have given returns to you multiplied, pressed down, and running over. I know that's in the Bible, but what it really means is that the universe is generous. And as we give out of our generosity, we receive in so many different pathways. It's not about me giving $5 and getting $10 back. It's about me being willing to open my wallet and my heart and receive love in so many different ways. So now, go ahead, La. You can play music. And as you give, it's not a hurry. You don't have to rush with the baskets. You can spend a little time loving them because we have plenty of time.
Thank you for your love and more. Gifts untold and shelter from the cold. When I'm feeling sad or lonely, you let me know I'm not the only one who's ever been here. Thank you for your gifts and more. That's what I thank you for. Thank you for. Thank you for. Thank you for.
That was beautiful.
So, can we do a nice big round of applause for Steve? This is like I think this is kind of like his new ministry, doing a little bit more of sharing not just his beautiful music talent, but his heart.
Yeah,
So, thank you, Steve.
thank you.
Okay, we are going to do the prayer of protection. Does everybody remember it? Oh, can you see through my head? Okay, so join us. The light of God surrounds you. The love of God enfolds you. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now we will go into our peace song, but I want to say thank you for being here. It's such an honor to be in the presence of such beautiful spirits, and we hope to keep seeing you come back. Bring your friends. It's a safe place. So.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.